Hey everybody, we've got more webinar going on later today, but this is something that I think will help a lot of folks who have taken our class or making tutus or not making tutus or want to sew nice corners. But have a look. This is the Spanish bodice we're making in our Page to Stage webinar, which is for sale, and you can buy it now and get the recordings we've done the prior days, and we're doing another class today. What I wanted to show you is a couple things about points. So this black bodice, this faux bodice, is joining into this faux blouse up here, and it's probably tricky to seam all this together with piping in there and have the point look nice. So what we're doing is finishing off the bottom section of it, and then we're going to stitch it in the ditch to put the top blouse on so that we can have less weird things to do with the seams. And what I've done to get this nice point in the front, if I unfold a little bit, you can see kind of what's going on. I piped one edge of it and ran my piping to 0 in the center front and folded it out of the way. Then I ran my last section of piping, starting with it at 0, and then folded that out of the way, rather than trying to pipe up to the corner and then pipe back down. You can certainly pipe up to the corner, clip your piping, right? So if we had piping, you can absolutely pipe up to the corner, clip it, and then turn the corner, but you don't get a really sharp point. And sometimes people want a really sharp point, like look at that. So that's piped up to that point. The back needs finished. But what I did here was I piped my middle section of my fake blouse first, clipped my seam allowance, clipped some clips so it'll lay over nice, pressed it. So I pressed the middle. Then I laid my armhole on. So both times I'm getting my piping to 0. I'm starting at 0 and working my needle onto the piping. So I've clipped that. So we're going to go over to the iron and lay this side down, and then you'll see that you can get these fantastically pointy points rather than like kind of a point. It's a good thing. So let me grab my scissors. No, where's my scissors? So you don't need to cut pie wedges out of this. You just need to cut just some clips into it, because when it lays over, it's going to open up. And I'm not notching my piping, just the cotillion and my fashion layers here. Then I'm going to start by carefully pressing this over, and I'm going to get rid of all that weird stuff later on. And did I burn you?
No, I'm good.
And I'm not going to totally hammer it down just yet. I'm just warming it up. Then I'm going to come to this side and actually look at my point and start giving it a little steam on this side. Everything I'm doing, I'm looking to make sure I still have a point. Then I'm going to go back here and figure out how can I fold this last little bit of piping out of the way, and then just keep working on the point. So you don't want to steam it now until you really have a nice point going on. And then I'm going to cross stitch this all back here, and see I'm making this little extra fold. I'm going to figure out what of the extra fabric can I also get rid of in my piping. So I'm figuring out what part of the piping do I really need, and I don't need this whole underside of it. So if you want to make a nice point and have it not be so thick, figure out what you can eliminate, but don't cut it until you're really sure what you can cut. So there, I've just cut half of the thickness out of there. So now when I lay this over, I've got less bulk. And then also when you're cross stitching that edge, you want to make sure that you're cross stitching it and looking at the point. So if I got a pin, I could even pull my point out a little bit better. And that's it. We'll see everybody else later today. Bye.